Larry, how you doing? It's really good to see you. How are things in Easton, PA? How are you handling this really strange time we're going through?
This really is a strange time. I mean, I never experienced anything like this, and I didn't ever think I would. But I got to take the bitter with the sweet and ride along with the flow.
I got to ask you about there's not much going on in boxing right now, but there's a little bit of news, I guess, around the edges. And the first thing I wanted to ask you about is this alleged Mike Tyson comeback. I don't know if you saw the video of him hitting the pads the other day. He's 53 years old. He looked great hitting the pads. The pads didn't hit back though, which is I think pretty significant. You fought past the age of 50. You're not a lot of guys have.
Mhm.
What do you first of all, what do you think? Do you think this is serious? Do you think that he really will come back or that this is just a
Well,
publicity stunt?
well, if they put up some money and tell him to fight, give him a date, he'll fight. It doesn't matter. He'll fight until he's 90 years old because that's what he's been doing all his life, fighting. So, but he just got to be careful. That's all. Don't take any necessary punches, and he won't be able to help that if he's fighting Holyfield. So he just got to watch himself.
When he's those last fights he had, Larry, he looked like a guy, whether he could do it physically or not, he looked like he didn't want to be in the ring. It's hard to fake it in boxing, right? That's the one thing I would wonder about is he didn't look like he wanted to be a fighter anymore, whether he could do it physically or not. You have to have a certain amount of confidence in order to step between those ropes, don't you?
You got to want to do it. You got to really want to do it. But when somebody hitting you upside your head, you think about it a few times. Should I do this? I should quit. No, don't take this no more. And you keep on doing it, then that's how you get hurt. That's how most fighters get hurt. And then they come out of retirement because there might be some money involved that he needs, and this is one of the fastest way to getting it.
When you fought late, those fights you had late in your career, in your late 40s, let's say till you were 50, what was the biggest difference between, in terms of being able to get in the ring and be successful compared to what it was like when you were, in your youth and in your prime?
Well, the difference was these guys couldn't fight. They were just guys. I was picking guys that I know I'm gonna get over with, and make a few bucks and get on out without getting hurt. But a lot of times these guys can't do it. If you Bob Arum, your promoter, he gonna get the best fighter he can get out of you. He don't really care about you. But Don King did have a little bit of care about me. That way he can continue to keep on using me. But boxing is no picnic. You better go in there and be ready.
I got to say, Larry, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said about Don King. So I want that on the record there. You said he cared about you.
A little bit, not a lot, a little bit.
What was you? I said, look, I know you were in with guys where you kind of knew what you were dealing with at that stage, but you had to use your smarts a lot, right? Like a lot of what you brought into the ring there was, the knowledge that you had from all of those fights, being able to think your way through those fights, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing out there, you're gonna get hurt. Because those guys out there, they're young and they're trying to make a name for themselves, and they're gonna make that name with you. So they're gonna try to tear your head off. And I try to pick the easiest fight that I possibly can do it, and so be it. And that's what I did.
Now, what do you, in terms of the heavyweight division, in terms of the younger guys in the heavyweight division right now, it's been, look, it hasn't been a great stretch, but it's gotten interesting the last year with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Now, both Joshua and Wilder got beat. I want to ask you about that Fury Wilder fight, though, which was, a surprise to a lot of people, and just about Tyson Fury in general. Have you ever seen a guy quite like him, Larry?
No, no, and I tried to talk to him once he was here in Easton and whatnot. I want to try to help him out and show him how to jab. And those guys don't know how to use the jab, and if you use your jab, you can get around a lot of those punches that them guys be throwing at you. But Tyson Fury, he's a good fighter, but he's still got a lot to learn. Yeah, but I don't want to knock the guy or whatever, because he's still trying to do it. But if we was fighting, you would not have you would never heard them guys.
Well, yeah, I think you might be right about that. Were you surprised how he dispatched Wilder in that fight, how easily he beat Wilder in that second fight?
Well, what happened is No, I wasn't surprised. What happened is he overtrained. He had what's his name? Somebody trained. I forget his name. Mark Breland was training him, and Mark Breland he can't train a big heavyweight. He's a 120-pound guy himself, and he's gonna try to train him. He needs to learn how to jab and use the ring, and that way he'll be able to get over it. But he didn't do none of that.
What do you think if they get that fight, if they had to do a third fight, Larry? And you know what? Look, Wilder's an impressive athlete and he can punch, but he's a bit raw as a boxer. You know, as you say, Fury is unusual for sure. But if they fight again a third time, what do you think will happen?
He got to learn how to jab.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't know how to jab, he ain't gonna get it. He'll lose just like he did. He got to use the jab. No guys don't jab. They got to make that jab go 100 miles an hour. And, you know, they don't do that. They sit there and they block the punch or move. They just don't have the movements and the talent that we had when I was coming up. And when I'm talking about I'm talking about the Norton, the Alis, the Fraziers, and all the guys on our side, the Larry Holmes, you know. Those guys just don't have that.
Now your jab is the gold standard, though, so not a lot of guys had the jab you did. You know, it's you and Ali 1-2 in terms of heavyweights with the jab, and there's no one else in that conversation.
They can learn though. They can learn. I learned it. I learned it from Ali. I took Ali's jab. I had a little bit of my own, but I've been with the greatest, so I want to be the greatest. So when boxing behind Muhammad Ali, ain't nothing wrong with being around Muhammad Ali when he's using the jab. And even though he lands a few punches, it's okay because you're going to learn from it. But the way these guys are fighting, it might take another birthday.
What do you think of Anthony Joshua, Larry? He's the other guy in the conversation. Obviously, he had a tough loss. He came back and avenged that loss. Great looking athlete in a lot of ways. Beat Klitschko in a good fight. What do you think of him?
Well, did he fight anybody he could fight on the way back and avenge that loss? If he didn't, he ain't gonna win. You know. But it all depends what kind of opponent they get. Now, if you're gonna have Mark Breland out there working with you in the corners, forget it.
What do you think of the sport in general, Larry? Like, as you said, there's not a lot of guys right now, and a lot of guys who might have gone into boxing in the old days who were, you know, going do other things, especially heavyweights. You know, they're playing football, they're playing basketball, they're doing stuff where no one punches you in the head. What do you think of the state of the sport, and especially the heavyweights right now? And is it ever going to come back to what it was, the kind of those different eras when there were a lot of guys who could fight?
Well, they need a Bob Arum, another one. They need another Bob Arum. They need another Don King. They need another Duva. They need the old school need to come back and show these guys how to box and put these guys in the ring, matching up opponents is just as good or better than they are. And I don't know if you're going to see that in the heavyweight division. You might find it in the lightweight. With the heavyweight division, these guys don't show me nothing. I mean, I get bored watching it on TV. That's how bored I am.
What do you think of mixed martial arts, UFC? Can you watch that?
I ain't gonna let nobody hit me in my face. I watched it last night again. It was doing all the time here. I watched it last night, and these guys get kicked in the face, they get kicked all over. Then they get punched, then you fall down, and guy jumps on top of you, bang you. Man, that ain't boxing. That's fighting. That's just plain straight out fighting. So if you can wrestle, you should learn how to wrestle so that you can know how to take a guy down, and you should learn how to punch him when he's down. But no, I wouldn't bet on that one. I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't even promote that.
What do you think, Larry, for boxing to come out of, like, all sports are going to have to come back now, right? And try and get people back into arenas and, you know, feel safe being in a crowd. It's going to be tough, just like it is going to be for a lot of businesses to come out of this and to come back. Do you think boxing comes back? I know it's not the way it used to be, but can it come back to what it was before this pandemic, do you think?
I think so. I think Holyfield and Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes and Jerry Cooney, we can bring it out. We get people to want to see it and see what happens. because Mike Tyson had some downs, ups and downs, and Larry Holmes had some ups and downs, and Jerry Cooney had some ups and downs. But we in our own circle, and then people will see that let's go see that fight. That's what we need to do. We need to get out there and help these guys promote and make sure that these promoters don't overmatch these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'd be game, with that, I'd be game.
But you didn't just challenge Jerry Cooney, did you? You're not going to come back and
No,
fight Jerry Cooney, right?
I already discussed it with him. We already did this before Holyfield and Mike Tyson thinking about it. We put on some boxing exhibitions and whatnot. And it will be a grudge match, a grudge exhibition or whatever, because you can't tell me Jerry wants to get slapped around by Larry Holmes again, but he'll be trying to get me. And I told him, long as we do go out there and fight, if he hits me and shakes me a little bit, back off. Same thing with me, with him, I'll back off. But you come out there and try to kill me, we got a war. And the audience will like that part. They would like to see that again. And I talked to Jerry. He's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big boy, man. He's strong. He punches hard, and he stays in the gym. He ain't like these guys out in the nightclub overnight drinking up the booze and stuff like that. He's out there training fighters. He got a gym that he trains fighters, and he's gonna be serious. And I know he is, but I keep warning him, and I will do that again before the fight, before this comes up.
I'm looking forward. So how are you looking in the gym these days? Are you training?
Yeah, I look like an old man. I look at, the speed bag and the jump rope, what I did, I built a gym in my yard now. So I can do it right anytime I want to do it. I got a steam room, I got a sauna. I go down in the steam room, the sauna, I jump rope, and then I lose some of this fat off me. I'm a 250 pounds, and I think I can get down to about 40, and I'll be ready to go.
Well, Larry, I'll tell you, as long as you got that jab, you got nothing to worry about with Jerry Cooney. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Even if it's a little slower.
I asked him, is he hungry? Did he eat yet? Bang, bang, bang. I had to throw it to him. And Jerry's a nice guy. Him and I do a lot of work together. And I think he got the message. He knew what I'm talking about.
Larry, it's been great talking to you today. Take care. Look after yourself and keep training. And we'll look forward to Holmes Cooney, the Holmes Cooney Tyson Holyfield double bill in, let's say, 2021. How's that sound?
That sounds good. And guess what? You never had this guy 70 years old step in the ring.
That's true. That'd be history.
I'm 70, yep.
Even Archie Moore wasn't 70 years old, I don't think, Larry.
Yeah, he was too old anyway.
We'll be watching, Larry.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, man.